Alright, I got 6 and 6. 6 of the shed side and 6 of the brook side. And the other one is standing by the shed. Alright, I'm going to make the gussets now so I can tie these things together, and using, this happens to be half-inch plywood left over from the roofing plywood. What we're going to do is we're going to mark it in here. And cut it. So we're not going to get enough out of this piece to do all the trusses. We'll do what we can. And we'll cut this and come back on camera. Alright, I made the gusset plates. I'm just going to nail them in with number 4 nails. And then we get them in, and now I'll just trim the tops off with the handsaw. That's not done. I want to put another one on this side. But, that'll give you an idea what to do. I'll finish that off. We got to saw off the top part there so that it'll fit. It won't be in the way of the plywood. Well, I'm going to finish doing the trimming on the gussets here. All right, I don't have time to cut out the bird's mouth on all these. It's getting too late in the day. You probably wonder why there's no gusset on that top one right here, this one, because this is the outside front where the plywood goes. So there is only a gusset on the other side here. That's all there is. There's one on the other side. This I got to redo because this was a temporary one. That's the one I had down here. So I got to find some more plywood and make a better gusset than that block of wood that I got in there. On the rafters, of course, you want them to be straight. So the old goat's way of doing it is to just lay a block here, run parallel to the 2x4 vertical, and draw a line right here, which I can't do right now because I'm holding a camera. So we'll do that, and then we're going to be making up the rest of these, and they'll have that proper angle. So I'm going to draw that right now. As you can see, we got the angle, so we're going to be cutting that. And naturally we mark this end as the brook side. That faces the brook. Naturally that's the 10-degree angle also. That keeps it a nice look on that. On the other end, this is going to be the shed side. It doesn't matter because we're going to extend this anyways and add more sheathing on it until it blends into the main roof. Well, I got the trusses all made and the gussets in place. This is a temporary one because this is the end piece and the plywood from the outside sheathing goes here. But anyways, all the gussets are in, and what I got to do is I've got all the bird's mouth marked out, so I got to cut the bird's mouth out. Before I can do that, I got to go over here and work on the brace. I got to put the support in the middle there because otherwise those trusses are 14.5 inch on center, as I had mentioned earlier, and it's going to be hard to work in there, so I got to put that vertical piece in there. That means I got to cut out that roofing there. So we'll come back on this video when I get that done. Alright, this is pressure treated, this is pressure treated. We just put a 3/4 plywood here to allow for this trim. We had to beef it up a little bit. This damn roofing is terrible. It's wet as far back as I could go, so there's not much I can do about it. But anyways, that gives us the solid base now. All I gotta do is concentrate on making the bird mouth for the rafters. Well, this is the front one. Bird's mouth fits perfectly here. Well, that's as good as she's gonna get. You ain't getting any better than that. At least she's in there. And she's up against a temporary stick, and this will keep it from falling over until I get all the joists in place. And then that stick that I got down there, it's on the other side, it's marked 14.5 inches. It's pre-drilled with a place to put a small nail in there to keep all the rafters from shifting on me until I get the plywood on. Yeah, I got to cut the rest of them and make sure that each individual ones fit in. I'm cutting the bird's mouth just a little bit short. So if it fits tight, I can always trim off the very end of the bird's mouth. That way there's not a big space there. Okay, if you look here, I got the temporarily clamped to each end of the trusses. And of course these are temporaries. Naturally they'll hold these up. And then when I start doing the middle, this stick here is marked. The last joist is 13.5 inches, but these are all 14.5 inches because I wanted to space them evenly. And they all are pre-drilled, so all you do is put a nail in it. It'll keep the joist in line when I drop them in here. And then of course, unfortunately, I got to toenail this in. I can't drive a nail from the top down. It would take an awful big nail and an awful big pre-drill. I don't have a bit that long that will drill in there, because otherwise it'll split the damn 2x4. So I have to toenail it in. The stick is upside down, but I got it this way just to show you. Each mark is representing this. So this gets nailed at each end, and then as I put the joist up, I put the nail through here to hold the joist, and I'll probably put this up towards the center. I only really need one because when I put the plywood on, I'll just slide it up, nail the plywood, then I can remove this and put the plywood on that side. There's a bird's eye view here. Now, that toenail it, as I said, I think they do that, but when they build houses, they use a nail gun, so it's so much easier. So that's not bad. It ain't gonna go anywhere, and you can see where this keeps the things standing up and also keeps them lined up properly. And I'll continue all the way down the line here. And we're doing the bird's mouth as we go along. The length, they're already marked and cut, but they're cut a little short here because some of the spacing is different. It's about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch more down at that end. So we'll continue. Oh, I'm getting there. I got 2 more trusses to put in. Alright, let's do a walk around. I got all the joists in, best I can do. Now, there's some changes here on the backside. I'd have to buy 7 more 2x4s or even 2x3s to extend it out here. I'm not going to pay more money out. I've laid enough out in this project already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4-foot 4x8 sheet. I'm going to let it overhang 4 feet, and at a later date I'll get some scrap wood and I'll build it up into here. It's going to be good enough for now because I have to do a major roof job on this damn shed anyways. So that concludes the truss video, and like I say, I'm just a half-assed hammer and nailer, and that's about it. That concludes this video. We'll be doing the sheathing and everything else. That'll be at a later date.